This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I am Kevin Smith. Welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we're tracking. Ghana has guidelines to prevent discrimination in bidding process for oil sector. Guyana left wide open for abuse in absence of similar protection. GCCI to beg international community to help small businesses prepare for oil and gas. And in Fagunda's execution, killer released on $100,000 bail and accused of damaging police vehicle. Meanwhile, in the La Soufriere volcano crisis, PSC collaborates with CDC to supply emergency needs for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Do stay tuned.
Introducing the new Digital Prime bundles. Better than anything we've ever offered before. More music on D-Music. More messaging on BIP. More radio streaming on Go Loud. More storage on Bello. More control on My Digital app. With the new Digital Prime bundles, it's never been easier to get more digital experiences. Plus, extra data. Get 30 gigabytes with a 7-day Prime bundle for only $2,000. So much data, so much fun. Buy in My Digital app today. Digital, better together.
Sábado, 4 de la tarde. Agárrate. Porque llega para ti Latin Line On. Comentarios, buena música.
Pero si le ponen la canción, le da una depresión tonta.
Y la chispa de Miguel Linero. Solo por Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. La radio que marca la diferencia en Guyana.
And now for the news in detail. When it comes to the evaluation of bids submitted for the oil sector, Ghana has arguably gone above and beyond to ensure its local businesses are not treated unfairly or discriminated against. In this regard, Ghana has a set of guidelines in place for oil companies to use when evaluating bids received for the supply of goods and services. Now, these guidelines ensure that local businesses are given first preference and are not shut out because they lack experience. Here, in Guyana, oil companies get to determine the procurement rules local suppliers must play by. In fact, local companies can be rejected for any number of reasons they deem appropriate. Just last weekend, for example, we reported on how a local manufacturing company was snubbed by an ExxonMobil contractor after it submitted an expression of interest for the provision of personal protective equipment. The Guyanese company, which was hopeful of getting a foot into the oil industry, was rejected on the basis of having zero experience in supplying the industry with personal protective equipment. And now let's tell you, even though its agenda for 2021 will be focused on ensuring Guyana has a local content legislation in place, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry said it will also seek to garner international support so that its members can be better prepared to benefit from the country's nascent oil and gas sector. This position was outlined by recently elected GCCI President Timothy Tucker. Tucker noted that the GCCI is planning to reach out worldwide to institutions and organizations that would support private sector development in Guyana. He noted too that GCCI would also be turning to governments for support while pointing to the Indian government and offers of scholarship. In other news, 3 days after Rondel Bacchus, called Killer, was arrested in relation to the execution of Ricardo Fagundes on Main Street, the suspect was yesterday released on $100,000 station bail. Bacchus was released with a condition attached that he report to the police on identified days. The police also stated yesterday that while Bacchus was being transported from the lockups, he maliciously damaged the police vehicle. He was subsequently charged and is expected to appear in court on April 12th regarding the offense. During Fagunda's farewell service, his close friend Roger Khan demanded justice for his slain friend and lashed out at the Guyana police force for not working diligently to find Fagunda's killers. And now let's tell you the $1 billion Westminster Secondary School in La Parfait Harmony in Region 3 is finally complete, though 15 months after the original deadline. This was revealed by the Ministry of Education yesterday, where it was stated that the Education Minister, Priya Manik Chand, conducted a visit to the state-of-the-art facility and declared it ready for the new school year, which will begin in September. The construction of the school fell under the Ghana Secondary Education Improvement Project, which was funded by the World Bank. The project aimed to aid the achievement of universal secondary education in Guyana in keeping with modern standards. It is now 12 hours 6 in Guyana. We will return with the news after the break.
Spend your Saturday afternoon with me, Shivani Ramprasad, rocking to your favorite Bollywood tunes on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM from 1 o'clock up until 4 o'clock. Bollywood tunes only on the radio with a difference.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. A 16-year-old bandit yesterday received a good thrashing from residents of 2nd Street, Caneville, on the east bank of Demerara after he robbed a 17-year-old mechanical student of his belongings and attempted to escape. The suspect was discharged from the Georgetown Public Hospital after receiving treatment for the injuries he suffered at the hands of public-spirited citizens. After he was robbed just after midnight of his BMX bicycle and $240 in cash, the 17-year-old said he ran home and raised an alarm with persons in the area. The persons who came to the young man's rescue searched the area and eventually caught one of the assailants. The robber was beaten and then handed over to the police, while the other two suspects managed to escape. And now let's tell you, Region 6 students are poised to have their learning experience taken to new levels following the commissioning of smart classrooms at the New Amsterdam Secondary School and the Skeldon Line Path Secondary. These classrooms are equipped with items such as interactive boards, televisions that will now allow teachers and students to connect and interact remotely. Motion and voice-activated cameras complete with a voice recognition feature are also installed to ensure effective communication between participants. During the event yesterday, Minister of Education, Priya Manik Chand, expressed her excitement to be commissioning the smart classrooms in the region, and they are now the 5th and 6th smart classrooms being commissioned across Guyana. And now let's tell you, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali extended his condolences to Queen Elizabeth II and the people of the United Kingdom yesterday on behalf of the government of Guyana following the death of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. In his letter to Her Majesty, the Queen, he said it is with deep sorrow that he extends heartfelt condolences on behalf of the government and people of Guyana, and in his own name to the government and people of the UK. Meanwhile, Prince Philip's military service, he highlighted particularly in the Second World War, which earned him great respect, and his early outspoken advocacy for the conservation and protection of the environment that inspired many. And now let's tell you, coming from www.aa.com, scientists in Brazil have discovered a new variant of the coronavirus that combines 18 mutations, rubbing salt in the wound of the South American epicenter. The new strain from Belo Horizonte city has characteristics in common with the variants that were already circulating in Brazil, but it also has new characteristics. Virologist Renita Santana from the Federal University of Minas Gerais told reporters. The new super variant made headlines at a critical time when Brazil registered record-high single-day COVID-19 deaths with more than 4,000. The grim milestone points to an uncontrolled advance of the virus in Brazil, which accounts for 1/4 of the world's daily virus-related deaths, although it only accounts for 2.7% of the global population. It is now 12 hours 10. Coming up after the break is your COVID-19 update. According to Worldometer, the number of worldwide coronavirus cases has reached 135.6 million, with deaths at 2.9 million and recovery cases at 109.1 million. In Guyana, a total of 10,958 cases have been discovered, with total deaths at 252 and 9,576 total recoveries. Meanwhile, the country has 1,130 active cases, with 13 seriously critical. And now we head over to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated to being blunt. The PPPC government says the gas to shore project is good for Guyana, that the pros outweigh the cons. If so, let them show us the evidence. Show the people the financial studies you did which prove that this project is sound. Prove that you are not leading Guyanese into another debt trap. Show the people that this will not be another white elephant like the $200 million Skeldon factory. Stop treating Guyanese like fools and earn their trust for their mega project. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.